Okay, I need you to picture this. You're standing on a 400 years old cobblestone. A massive castle towers over the river in front of you. The buildings around you look like they were lifted straight out of France. And then somebody casually mentions that the peaceful field just up the hill is where two armies fought a battle so fast. It basically was over before most soldiers even knew it had started. Both generals died. That's Quebec City, the most European place in North America. And it's a 5-hour drive from Toronto. But here's the thing. Most visitors come, snap a few photos, eat a crap, and leave with no idea what actually happened here. Today, I'm showing you the real Quebec City, the beauty on top, and the fascinating stories buried underneath. Hey everyone, this is your boy Steve. Welcome back to Travel with Steve. If you're new here, this is the channel where we find the best of Canada without the tourist trap nonsense. No filler, no fluff. Just the stuff that's actually worth your time, plus the history nobody else bothers to tell you. I just got back from 4 days in Quebec City, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. It's walkable, it's gorgeous, and you do not need to be 25 and athletic to enjoy it, which I know a lot of you appreciate. Grab a notebook, because you're going to want to write some of this down. Let's get into it. First things first, Old Quebec, Vieux Quebec, is the only walled city north of Mexico. Let that sink in for a second. The entire historic core is wrapped in stone fortifications, and you can walk the ramparts yourself. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the second you step through one of the old gates, the modern world just disappears. Start at the top in Upper Town and work your way down. The streets are narrow, they're cobblestone, and yes, they're steep in places, so wear real shoes, not sandals. I'm telling you now so you thank me later. And here's your first, I didn't know that moment. Those walls aren't decorative. They're the reason this city exists the way it does. Because Quebec has been attacked, besieged, and fought over more times than almost any city on the continent. Which brings me to the part most tour guides skip. Just outside those walls is a big, peaceful, grassy park. People jog there. Families picnic. It looks like the most ordinary green space you've ever seen. It is also one of the most important battlefields in North American history. Let me give you the real story. The British, under General James Wolfe, against the French, under General Montcalm. The battle that decided who would control Canada, September 13th, 1759. Right here, the Plains of Abraham, steps from the old city walls. This is the wild part. Wolfe's men scaled the cliffs along the river in the dark of night, a climb everyone said was impossible. And by sunrise, the British army was simply standing on the field. The French were stunned. The actual fighting? Some accounts say the decisive part was over in well under half an hour. And in that short, brutal window, both commanding generals were mortally wounded. Wolfe died on the field. Montcalm died the next morning. Think about that. You're standing in a park where two empires collided, two generals died, and the entire future of Canada flipped. And today there's a guy walking his dog across it. That's the whole reason I make these videos. Beauty on the surface. History underneath. You can visit the Plains of Abraham Museum right there to get the full picture. And honestly, walking the field after you know the story hits completely differently. Okay, if that one gave you chills, this next one is going to stick with you. A woman named Marie J. O.S.E.P.H.T. E. Corriveau, known forever after as Le Corriveau, she was convicted of murdering her husband, 1763. Just a few years after the battle, with the British now in charge, she was hanged near the Plains of Abraham. But the punishment didn't stop at the hanging. How? The British authorities did something almost never done in this part of the world. They locked her body inside a human-shaped iron cage, a gibbet, and hung it in public at a busy crossroads across the river as a warning. Her remains stayed on display in that cage for weeks. And here's the part that turns history into legend. Over the centuries, the story grew. People swore they heard the cage creaking in the wind at night. The number of husbands she supposedly killed climbed with every retelling. She became Quebec's most famous ghost story. But here's your obscure fact, and it's a good one. That actual iron cage? It's real. It still exists. And after spending over a century in the United States, including a stretch owned by the showman P.T. Barnum, it eventually came home. You can see it today at the Musée de la Civilisation right here in Quebec City. The real thing. I told you this city was different. Let's come back up for air, because Quebec City isn't only dark history. It's genuinely one of the most beautiful places you'll ever stand. The Château Frontenac is that castle I mentioned at the start. It's a grand railway hotel, and it's often called the most photographed hotel in the world. You don't have to stay there. And at those prices, most of us won't. But you absolutely walk the Dufferin Terrace right in front of it. It's a long wooden boardwalk perched above the St. Lawrence River, and the view is just unreasonable. Mountains, river, the old city tumbling down toward the water. Go at sunset. Bring someone you like, maybe a coffee. That's a perfect Quebec City evening right there, and it costs you nothing. From the terrace, make your way down to Lower Town and the quartier Petit-Champlain. This is the oldest commercial district in North America, and it is ridiculously charming. Narrow lanes, flower boxes, little shops, cafes tucked into stone buildings. I hope you're hungry, because this is where you eat. Find a spot, sit, order something you can't pronounce, and just take it in. And I mean, who doesn't love wandering a 400-year-old street with a pastry in their hand? You can take the funicular down if the stairs are too much. And there's no shame in that. The hill is no joke. That little cable car ride is also one of the best cheap views in the city. If you've got an extra half day, here's where you spend it. Montmorency Falls is about 15 minutes outside the city. And here's the fact that surprises everyone. It's taller than Niagara, not wider. Niagara wins on width, but Montmorency is actually higher. There's a suspension bridge right over the top, a cable car if you'd rather not climb, and staircases for those who want them. Pick your comfort level. The point is the view, and the view is spectacular. Easy trip, low effort, huge payoff. Exactly my kind of day. Now the honest part, because I always give you the real information, Quebec City is one of the safest cities you'll visit in North America, full stop. The thing that actually catches people off guard isn't crime, it's the terrain. Those beautiful cobblestone streets are uneven and steep, and they get genuinely slippery in rain, snow, or ice. If you're visiting in winter, that's most of the time. So, good footwear with grip, take the funicular when your knees are telling you to, and don't rush the stairs. The number one Quebec City injury is a twisted ankle, not anything sinister. Plan around the hills and you'll be golden. So that's Quebec City. The castle, the cobblestones, a battlefield hiding in a park, and a ghost in an iron cage you can actually go see. Beautiful on top, fascinating underneath. That's the whole point. If you found this useful, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel, and there's a lot more Canada coming. Drop a comment and tell me which city I should dig into next. And as always, thanks for traveling with me. I'll see you in the next one.